Hello and welcome to my video. This is going to be a top 25 of my favourite artists of all time. I'm going to be counting them down in order. I'm going to be making a few more videos on my vinyl collections. This will give you a sort of taste of what music I'm into, help decide if you're interested in the channel or not. It's not got all my music tastes, but it's got a wide range. The first artist I'm talking about wasn't here originally. It wasn't at number 25. Number 25 was Soundgarden. However, I decided to move Soundgarden down number 1 and put this artist there instead. It would have been Bad Motorfinger for Soundgarden's album, which was grunge Soundgarden. But here is my 25th best artist of all time, and the albums I've chose by them, they're not. I've chosen basically just random ones to talk about. It's not necessarily the best album of theirs. Some of them I do view it as the best album of theirs, and I'll tell you which ones probably. But anyway, here we go. First album is Saint Pepsi. Probably not a lot of you have heard of this artist. It is Vaporwave. Little bit strip on there, which I hate, as I've said before, but there you go. It's Saint Pepsi. It's Vaporwave. If you've never heard Enjoy Yourself by Saint Pepsi, go check it out, because that is, to me, what Vaporwave sound is. You can get a rough idea. Vaporwave is, how would I describe it? It's like a throwback to the 90s, 80s. The sort of jazzy samples, soul samples. It includes a lot of sort of themes like old computers, VHSs, Baywatch, things like that. Just old nostalgic stuff, really. Anyway, on the Vaporwave, this is a vinyl for it. A lovely vinyl. It is blue and black. Do enjoy coloured vinyl. I tend to find most Vaporwaves are coloured vinyls as well, which I do like. However, most Vaporwaves do tend to be quite pricey a lot of the time. It's quite a pricey market for Vaporwave. It's one I'm interested in maybe getting in. This is includes bonus tracks from the original 2013 release. And this is Saint Pepsi and Luxury Elite Late Night Delight. And that is my number 25 best artist of all time. And the album next is my 24th best artist of all time. It is The Chemical Brothers. Not necessarily the best album, although I do enjoy this album. This is the 4th album, I believe. This is Chemical Brothers Come With Us. It is a gatefold sleeve, which I do enjoy. Always nice to have an extra bit of artwork in there. That's the back. In case you don't see, there's Princess Betty Bojangles up there. I might introduce you sometime. She's my princess, she's my baby. Here's what you get inside. No special coloured vinyls here, just standard black. So double vinyl. One of the standout tracks on here for me is It Began in Africa. Chemical Brothers They've got an amazing sound. They're sort of they've got a very psychedelic sound to them, but you know, very dancey vibe. I forgot what they're actually classed as. Is it Big Beat? I think it's Big Beat. I gotta check this now, man, because this will just bug me. Sorry about this. But I'm sure it's Big Beat. I forget, yeah, the Big Beat genre, yeah. Well, so, we do a lot of Big Beat music. It's all very trippy, it's all very varied. One of the albums I like is one of the early albums, number 2, Dig Your Own Vinyl. Not Dig Your Own Vinyl, this is vinyl, man. Dig Your Own Hole. I've got that on vinyl, so, but I'm talking about this one today. This has come with us. It features artists like, they feature a lot of good artists, a lot of good indie artists like who we got Richard Ashcroft from The Verve. We've got Noel Gallagher featuring on a few of them. Beth Orton. Yeah, they feature a lot of good artists, but as the Chemical Brothers, my 24th best artist of all time. Next is probably a surprise to everyone, but it's Poison. This is a air metal band from the 80s. I'm sure you're all familiar with at least one Poison song. Every Rose Has Its Thorn. What's the one I'm thinking of? It probably is Every Rose Has Its Thorn I'm thinking of. That's the standout song. There's some good tracks on here. Look But You Can't Touch. Nothing But a Good Time. It's just a fun album. I find a lot of air metal. This is inside, by the way. I find a lot of air metal to be quite feel good music, you know. I say air metal. It's also called glam metal, but standard black vinyl. Yeah, I do enjoy a lot of air metal. A lot of people would give me hate for that, but I enjoy a lot of types of music, you know. Air metal being one of them, and Poison being one of my favourite artists. Number 23, I think. Yeah, number 23 of my best artists, Poison. It's Bret Michaels, the singer. That's the dude on the back. They always looked like girls. They always sang very high pitch. They always got a lot of girls, did a lot of drugs, drank a lot of whiskey. It was a cool lifestyle, man. I mean, it looked fun. So that's Poison. Next, at number 22, I talked about this in one of my debut top 10 rap albums. It is Raekwon, the Chef, Only Built for Cuban Links. This album is a killer album. Like I said before, a lot of the tracks I like: Knowledge God, Criminology, Wisdom Body, Ice Cream, Heaven and Hell. There's some great tracks on here. It's double vinyl, this one. I've got a few Raekwon albums. I forgot to mention I do have a few of albums of the other artists as well. I have about 3 Saint Pepsi albums, 4 Chemical Brothers albums, about 3 Poison albums. I've got about 3 or 4 Raekwon albums. This one's not a gatefold sleeve, unfortunately, but this is his standout album for me. This is his best album. I would like to get Only Built for Cuban Links 2 at some point. I've not actually heard that yet, unfortunately, because I'm awkward and I don't really listen to stuff till I buy it, unless I listen to the odd song, you know, like 1 or 2 songs, see if I like it and then buy it. But anyway, that is Raekwon. And again, if you watched my top 10 debut rap albums, this is again another artist from there, and the same album again. It is my 21st best artist of all time. Coming in at number 21 is the Wu-Tang Clan. Enter the 36 Chambers, this album. This is their debut album. The best in my opinion again. For a lot of artists, the debut album is the best album for me. I usually like the earlier albums better for some reason. Not always the case, but sometimes it is. Like I say before, one of my standout tracks, Can It Be All So Simple, samples some great soul songs in these, man. Which I've also got a soul collection by the Wu-Tang, which I'll be talking about at some point as well. It's a collection of the soul songs that was sampled in a lot of the Wu-Tang and affiliates sort of songs, so I'll be talking about that. It's Shaolin Soul. Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. That was a banger that I'd bang in my bedroom and annoy my mum with back in the day. Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. Anyway, that's my 21st best artist, and that is the Wu-Tang Clan. Coming in at number 20 is my best artist. My 20th best artist is Guns N' Roses. Yes, I picked this album because it's the most iconic. It's not my favourite Guns N' Roses album. That one is Use Your Illusion 2, I believe, the blue covered one anyway. Use Your Illusion, the blue cover. But I'm talking about this one because it's the most iconic. It's probably the one most everyone knows. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. Everybody knows these Guns N' Roses songs, man. I mean, where's the track listing here? Welcome to the Jungle, everybody's heard that. Paradise City, Sweet Child of Mine. I mean, if you haven't heard them songs, you must have been living under a rock. There's some great other songs, My Michelle, Thinking About You, and Night Train. This is a good album, like I say. It's I do prefer some of my hair metal albums, I'm not gonna lie. I prefer Motley Crue's album, which could be a bit of a spoiler, but maybe not. But they have had a lot of good albums of Guns N' Roses. I know a lot of people want to find the Spaghetti Instant, but I enjoyed the Covers album. I'm yet to get it on vinyl, but this is your standard black vinyl. Nothing interesting to show. Oh, yeah, we've got that. The band cover, it used to be, I believe, of a robot raping a woman. But yeah, is that my 20th? Yeah, my 20th best artist, Guns N' Roses. By the way, November Rain, that's my favourite Guns N' Roses track. Next we have, again, it's not one of her early albums which features Lexi Fox, but it's Steel Panther. This is when Lexi Fox left, unfortunately. I did like Lexi. I've seen Steel Panther live with my wife. She got up on stage with him, had a photo taken with Lexi, and Michael Starr was there. It was an awesome night. Very drunk and whatnot. This is Steel Panther on the Prowl. There's Michael Starr, Sticks It In Ya, Satchel, and I can't remember the new dude's name. It is Spider on bass. Used to be Lexi Fox, but it's now Spider. But Steel Panther, again, if you like hair metal, this is a modern equivalent of hair metal. I mean, the songs only like on your Instagram. They're all piss take sort of songs, saying about how the girls look so good on Instagram. Then you look at them and they're just flat as shit, you know the type. Never too late to get some pussy tonight. Is my dick enough? Enough for you. Magical Vagina. 1987. There's some of the standout tracks. I mean, Friends with Benefits. It's just tongue in cheek. It's very tongue in cheek. If you're too serious, man, you're not going to enjoy this album. But all these artists, because they take the piss, the air metal to the extreme. Quite sexist. Got to enjoy them, boys. This is yeah, like I said, it was a gatefold sleeve, and this is what you're getting inside. I do have other Steel Panther albums. I have 2 more Steel Panther albums on vinyl. This is Bubblegum Pink. It's a see-through transparent bubblegum pink vinyl. Like I said, I do enjoy my coloured vinyls. It just looks nice, man. But anyway, that is Steel Panther, my number 19th best artist of all time. Excuse me while I put this in. Now coming in at number 18, very different vibe altogether. Many of you may not know, but I am a fan of black metal, especially Norwegian black metal, the old true Norwegian black metal. And my number 18th artist of all time is Gorgoroth. This is when Infernus. I can't remember, the vocals was by Pest. I can't remember if Garl was in there at that point. But this is a good album. As of all Gorgoroth albums, at the minute I've only got 2 on vinyl. I do need to get more. This is Under the Sign of Hell. I have Destroyer on vinyl. I need to get Incipit Satan and Twilight of the Idols. I do enjoy them albums as well. Antichrist and Pentagram also. Is it Antichrist or is it just... I can't remember, man. I've got it on CD, but I haven't listened to CDs for a while because I've started collecting vinyls. I'm into my vinyls now. But anyway, that was my number 18th best artist, and it was a black metal artist. If you're not familiar with black metal, look it up. It's a very extreme form of metal, not for everybody, but I find it very melancholic, very relaxing. And coming up again as my number 17th best artist, it is another black metal artist. It is Mayhem. This is the Mysteries Dom Santanas. Probably slaughtered that man, but it's a gatefold vinyl. This is a classic black metal album. This is pretty much where it started, I'd say. I mean, there was like the early influences like Venom, Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, but this is the first true Norwegian black metal album, I'd say. This is Euronymous, who of course was killed by Burzum, Varg Vikernes, who was in this band also for this vinyl. All great stories in black metal. If you're not familiar with the stories of black metal, look up the Mayhem and Burzum thing. Watch Lords of Chaos, the movie. It's a bit dramatised, but it's a fun movie, and it gives you an idea of what sort of shit it was into. Burning churches, murder, suicide, all that. But anyway, very dark matter. One of my standout tracks on here is Freezing Moon, one of the best black metal art songs of all time for me. This is Mayhem. Next, coming in at number 16, we're going to change the mood up again very much. It is Duran Duran, and of course this is a classic album, Rio. I'm sure everybody's heard at least one Duran Duran song, if not a load more. Classic 80s band, New Romantics. some classic songs. I'll show you inside. What's inside? It's your standard black vinyl, but I'll show you the insert cover. I chose this album because it's probably the most well known and iconic of all Duran Duran's albums. Rio, everybody knows Rio. Hungry Like the Wolf, Save a Prayer, which is my personal favourite Duran Duran song, is Save a Prayer. Again, I've seen these live, seen them in my hometown of Halifax, where I'm originally from. It was brilliant live, good atmosphere, and it was nice to see them in my town where I was a kid, you know, where I grew up. So I grew up on Duran Duran. My older brother still is, big fan of them, listens to them a lot. That's where I got my love of Duran Duran, really, listening to my brother's Duran Duran. At the minute I've got 3 of her albums on vinyl, no, 4 of her albums on vinyl, one of them being the live album. Duran Duran. I do have to get a couple more Duran Duran albums. I liked them up until mid-90s probably. My next artist is another air metal, glam metal group. It is Motley Crue, and this is my favourite album of theirs. This is Dr. Feelgood. This is some great artwork on the sleeve. I'm sure everyone's heard Dr. Feelgood. He's the one called Dr. Feelgood. I hope I don't get copyright infringed for that shit, man. You know what I mean? You know, YouTube's like these days. I don't really use it, but here I am using it for the first time. It's inside. This album is back-to-back classic song, to be honest. I do prefer this to the Guns N' Roses album. I find the songs a lot more sort of satisfying, a lot more tongue-in-cheek, to be honest, as well. There's Dr. Feelgood, which is obviously on about the drugs. There's Slice of Your Pie, a bit tongue-in-cheek. Rattlesnake Shake, again tongue-in-cheek. Kickstart My Heart, which I think was about the time Nicky Sixx, he overdosed on heroin and they had to kickstart his heart, and the guy was a fan or something from what I remember. Without You, same old situation. Sticky Sweet. You see where Steel Panther get the sort of gist of cheekiness. She Goes Down. Yeah, that's even included in the zipper sound. Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away. That's probably the least favourite song on there. It's still a good track. Time for a Change. That's another good one. I've got 3 or 4 Motley Crue albums. Again, do need to get a little bit more, but these are my number 15th best artist. We're at number 15 now, just so you're aware. This is my number 15th best artist, Motley Crue. Next, it's a genre people probably haven't heard of, but it is probably my favourite music genre of all time. It's krautrock, and it is Frumpy. This is Frumpy's second album, Frumpy number 2. I've got 3 Frumpy albums. It's gatefold. This is German sort of experimentative kind of electronic rock, and this album just kicks, man. Standard black vinyl, just one vinyl, but Frumpy, if you've never heard krautrock and you like instrumentals, awesome instrumentals, check out How the Gypsy Was Born. It's a 10-minute song. Listen to the old song because it is epic. 10 minutes 5 seconds. How the Gypsy Was Born, Frumpy, because that one is a killer. Live is even better if you can find the live 70s performance, which should be on YouTube for you to find. But Frumpy, a great krautrock artist, and krautrock is one of my favourite genres, if not my favourite genre. A lot of 70s, late 60s sort of German rock, German experimentation, German art rock, German kind of like progressive rock. This is a very progressive rock sort of album, but it's a female lead singer, which I think this might be the only female artist in my top 25, to be honest. It could be. Yeah, there is a female in one of the others, but yeah, this is pretty much the only female artist, and it's Frumpy in at number 14. Coming in at number 13, again sticking with the krautrock theme. Again, if you haven't checked out krautrock, go check it out. This is Guru Guru, another great artist that I can recommend. So Gatefold Sleeve is my easy, brilliant drummer, man, excellent drummer. This is a UFO album. I've got about 3 or 4 of their albums. Kangaroo's a good album. The songs are quite long, as with a lot of krautrock songs. Some epic, long, sort of jamming sessions, you know. We've got the LSD March, which is the LSD March, I'd assume. UFO. I mean, they're clocking in at 10 minutes 15 and 8 minutes 25 for just them 2 tracks. So that's like one side. So they ain't got many songs, but the songs they do have, they are good. Guru Guru, check them out. Skeleton Monkeys and Man, Live Forever. Next at number 12, switching it up again to some more 60s, 70s music. This is Tim Buckley. This is a folk singer. You probably all know his son, Jeff Buckley, who sang Hallelujah, which was of course a Leonard Cohen cover. This is Tim Buckley's Star Sailor, one of my personal favourite albums by him. It's just I have a box set with about 6 or 7 albums by Tim Buckley. He's brilliant. Album after album's classic. First album, not his best. I usually like the first album's best, but his first album's good, but not his best. But his later albums get very experimentative, sort of folk music. There's Song to the Siren, which is a really good song. Star Sailor, Come Here Woman. He's got a very raw voice, very talented singer. Tim Buckley, as I say, you probably know his son Jeff Buckley, but check out Tim Buckley because he's a good artist, man. I mean, I don't know why I don't get more love, but he's my number 12, so there you go, Tim Buckley. Next up, we're going again to black metal. I was surprised I had so many black metal artists in my top 25. I only worked out my top 25 last week, and I was surprised there was so much black metal and missing a lot of grunge artists, a lot of Manchester, a lot of vaporwave, just a lot of different genres, which I was surprised weren't in here. But I went by probably the sound as well as the sound. I went for how many albums I liked by those, you know, the amount of consistently really good albums. So anyways, Dark Throne at number 11. These are consistent with good albums. The sound has changed. It was first album was death metal, but then they went to black metal, and they've progressed ever since then. Crust punk, all sorts of sound, but it's always got a black metalish sound to it. It's always got a very lo-fi sound. Ooh, my vinyl's slipping out. Very lo-fi sound in black metal. True Norwegian black metal again. This is the sleeve inside. You gotta love some true Norwegian black metal. This is the Unholy Trilogy, of course. If you know your black metal, you know Dark Throne did an Unholy Trilogy. That's just for more vinyls. But the Unholy Trilogy is my favourite black metal vinyls, probably apart from Panzerfaust, which is an amazing, probably my favourite Dark Throne vinyl. This has got classics like Transylvania Hunger. I can't even pronounce these titles, man, I'm not gonna lie. My Norwegian ain't great. Even though I have Norwegian blood, apparently, you know. I'll check that out. I've got Norwegian ancestry. I en all med flesk og mjord. I don't know how that was. Probably murdered the language, but there you go. Dark Throne is my number 11. I have a lot, and I mean a lot, of albums by Dark Throne on vinyl. I have an entire collection of 7 live vinyls, probably some tapes, some cassette tapes, man, they're coming back. Quite a lot of demos and everything, as well as main albums. I do need to get more because they've released a lot of albums. I've got some of the latest albums, I've got some of the older albums, missing some of the mid albums, but that's Dark Throne. Next, we're now into the top 10, and coming in at the top 10, coming in at number 10 is Can. This again is a krautrock artist. This is Tego Amigo. It's a gatefold sleeve. Damo Suzuki recently died. God rest his soul. He did some classic songs, not gonna lie. Krautrock is just, it takes you to another planet now. We've got Paper House, which is a classic one. I love Paper House. Mushroom, that's another one. One of my favourite Can songs isn't actually on this album. It is either Mother Sky or what is it? I can't remember, dude. You know, my memory's shot. But yeah, check out Can, because they are great krautrock. Number 9, yet again another black metal artist. This is their debut album along with an EP, Ask. This is a controversial artist. This is Burzum, probably my favourite black metal artist of all time. Well, he is according to this list, because there's no more coming up. This is a beautiful cover. Very controversial artist. Known for murdering Euronymous, stabbing him quite a lot of times. You know, something like 36 times or some shit. Quite an extremist, but I think he seems like an intelligent man, to be honest. You know, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people don't agree with his views, but some of his views are fucked up. But you know, he does come across intelligent. I'm gonna give him that. And this is Burzum, black metal, feeble screams from the forest unknown, lord of the depths, channeling the power of souls into a new god. A lost, forgotten, sad spirit. That's a classic one. The Crying Orc. A lot of Lord of the Rings sort of themes. That's very dark sort of themes, but this is probably one of my favourite albums by Burzum. I've got, I can't remember how many albums Burzum has, probably about 19 or something maybe, but I've got all the Burzum albums, let's just say that. I've got them all on vinyl, because I do love him. That's my number 9th best artist, that is Burzum. Next up, we're going for a big switch again, and this is the Beatles. Everybody knows the Beatles. This is a Blue Album, 1967 to 1970. It's my personal favourite collection. I only really have the Blue and Red album, to be honest. Oh, the cat wants to come in. about this, everyone. The cat's been a diva. I want to show you all my cat. This little princess. This is Betty Bojangles. She is my princess. There she is up there. Say hello, Betty. Say hello to everyone. She's a ragdoll, Betty Bojangles. She's a star. She will be a star. She'll always be my star. Love you, baby. Go on then. But anyway, sorry about that. Just thought you'd like to see my cat. We're going back to the Beatles, which I said was my number 8 artist. This is the Beatles' later songs. Of course, the Red Album come before this. The Red Album being full of their earlier songs. This is a triple vinyl special one that's just come out. Can't remember if it's 25th anniversary or something. It's got a shitload of extra songs, including the newest 2023 song, Now and Then, which is a brilliant song. One of the best songs. It's got one of my favourite Beatles song, which is Oh Darling, which not a lot of people rave about that song, but it's a classic song. This is what you're getting. The Red Album is also just as good, but the blues just slightly got that edge for me. It's a more psychedelic sounding Beatles. There's Classic Apple, there's a blue see-through vinyl. I won't show you them all because they're all the same colour, but like I say, it's a triple vinyl. We have inside an insert with liner notes. Like I say, it's a gatefold sleeve, which I like. But yeah, everybody's got to know the Beatles songs. I mean, Strawberry Fields Forever, With a Little Help from My Friends, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, All You Need Is Love, Hello Goodbye, Hey Jude, Magical Mystery Tour, I Am Walrus, Back in the USSR, Obla-Di Obla-Da, Come Together, Let It Be, Here Comes the Sun, Dear Prudence, So Darling. I mean, there's some classics on this. This is, it just takes you away to another land. The Beatles is, they changed music, they really, didn't they? I mean, this, if you're going to get any Beatles, get this album, the Blue Album, and the Red Album, and try to get the triple albums, because they've got probably all the best Beatles songs on there, to be honest. It's all the most well-known songs at least, but all the singles pretty much. And it, in my opinion, the best Beatles songs. I probably will get some Beatles albums in the future, but for now I'm happy with these collections. The Beatles at number 8. Coming in at number 7, inspired by the Beatles, is Oasis, and I'm also including Liam Gallagher and Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Well, it's cheating a little bit, but I'm going to include them as my number 7 artist along with Oasis, because I love Liam's solo stuff. Liam is a poet, man. His solo stuff just touches. But this is talking about Oasis. What's the Story, Morning Glory. It's a gatefold sleeve. Everybody knows Oasis. This is my favourite album of theirs, I think. For me, the first 3 albums are the best Oasis albums. So, standard black vinyl, standard black sleeves. I own quite a few Oasis on vinyl. I own the Oasis Live at Nebworth 96, that's a classic one, that's a triple vinyl. This one's got some awesome songs on there like Hello, Roll With It, Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger. It's just banger after banger. Some might say Cast No Shadow, Champagne Supernova, which is my personal favourite song, which is why I picked this album to show. Champagne Supernova is a 7-minute 27 classic song. It is my number 7 band, Oasis. Sure you're all familiar with them. Next up, another band a lot of you all may be familiar with, some of you may not. It is Pink Floyd, and this is Dark Side of the Moon. Seen a Pink Floyd tribute a couple of times, and it was amazing, man. They had the inflatable pig, they had the inflatable head teacher, the hammerhead teacher, you know, from the wall. I've got quite a lot of Pink Floyd vinyls, probably ranging from about 6, 7. I believe this vinyl is slightly coloured, so I'm going to show you the vinyl. This is a blue vinyl, don't know if you can see it properly. It's blue tinted see-through vinyl, dark blue. Dark Side of the Moon is my favourite Pink Floyd album, not gonna lie. It's where it all started for me with my Pink Floyd journey. But album after album of theirs is just banger after banger, to be honest. It's like every album is just really good. Dark Side of the Moon though, if you've never checked this album out, you've got to check the full album out because it is a classic. It's from 1973, I believe. The tribute band we saw performed this album in full, which was amazing. They had laser shows, it was great. But Pink Floyd, I'm sure you all heard of We Don't Need No Education, We Don't Need No Self-Control, you know, Another Brick in the Wall. You all have heard of that. Money, which you might have all heard of, which is on this album. My number 6 band of all time, Pink Floyd. My number 5th band of all time is Happy Mondays. Sure, a few of you have heard of Happy Mondays. Or I suppose if you're in the US, you might not have heard of Happy Mondays. I don't know how big they got in the US. I doubt I've got any US watchers. I don't know, I could have any watchers really, I suppose. But this is Happy Mondays. It's a Manchester band from Manchester. Great artist, Shaun Ryder and Bez. Bez didn't do much but shake maracas, but he's fucking awesome, dude. Bez is a man, as is Shaun Ryder. Gotta love Bez cheating on Barganon. That was a classic. We've got some great songs on this. Where's the track listing? Loose Fit being one of them. Gotta Be a Loose Fit. Kinky Afro, I remember's on here. It's on here, innit? Yeah. Kinky Afro, Loose Fit, Step On, that's the other one I'm thinking of. Everyone's got to have heard of Step On. Twisting My Melon, man. You talk so it, man. Anyway, that is Happy Mondays. And they are my number 5th best band of all time. If you haven't heard of Happy Mondays, do go check them out. The track I suggest checking out is probably Kinky Afro. Kinky Afro is a good track to check out if you want to get a vibe. Either that or Loose Fit. My number 4 best artist of all time is Amon Jewel 2. Yet again, a krautrock artist, which probably many people don't know what krautrock is, but it is a good genre. So I do suggest you go check it out. I do need to get this again on vinyl because unfortunately the vinyl's very warped, which really sucks. It kind of plays, but not enough. It just fucks the needle up. But there's some classic songs. Archangel, Thunderbird being one of my favourites. Sup, Shock Rock, Eye Shaking King. If you haven't heard krautrock, check out them songs by Amon Jewel 2, because they are my favourite krautrock band at number 4. And check out Archangel Thunderbird. That'll give you a vibe of what it's about, man. That's a good one. I've got a few Amon Duel 2 albums, probably about 4 or 5 maybe. Like I say, it's a Gatefold sleeve again. That is Amon Duel 2 Krautrock. Coming in at number 3 is a artist probably not many people have heard of. I forgot what sort of it's stoner rock and psychedelic metal, I'd say. This is Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. It's a band from the UK. This is a brilliant album. This was apparently he did this with his dull money that he was getting. He knew nothing about sound technicianing or anything, but there's some classic songs on this. It's a very lo-fi. It was originally printed on CDR of very small quantities, but it made it onto vinyl. Witch's Garden being a standout track for me. If you've not checked out Uncle Acid and the Deadbeat Witch's Garden, go check it out now. If you like Sabbath, you'll love that track. Very Black Sabbathy. Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats has a very Black Sabbath sort of sound. Very good instrumentals though, very stoner sort of rock. It's a see-through black vinyl. Don't know if you can see that. Just looks black probably in this light, but it's kind of a see-through dark black ash colour. But yeah, I've only recently discovered this band. I discovered them probably around lockdown time, but I only really got into them recently, and they just blow me away, man. It's just like classic after classic just happening. So it's Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats at my number 3 best artist of all time. We are now on the second best artist of all time, which up until recently was my number 1 artist of all time. I have seen them live twice, only recently-ish to be honest, within the last sort of 5 years. I wish I'd have got to see them when Lane Staley was in them. It is of course Alice in Chains, and this is some great grunge. I love my grunge. I'm surprised only Alice in Chains made it in the grunge, to be honest, in the top 25. This is Dirt. This is a classic album. I could have also chosen Facelift, which is another classic album, their debut album, of course. So, got that inside. But yeah, Alice in Chains is just one of them bands. Down in a Hole. If you haven't checked out Alice in Chains Down in a Hole, go check that out. That's one of my favourite songs of all time. Down in a Hole by Alice in Chains. Can't say my H's, so it's H-O-L-E, not old like I say it. It's a yellow vinyl. Double vinyl, both yellows. I have 3 Alice in Chains currently on vinyl. I have a lot more on CD, but I've got Alice in Chains Unplugged, which is quite a rare vinyl, which I'm happy to own. MTV Unplugged. This one is probably my favourite album. It always goes between this one and Facelift for me, the first album, and this one, the second album. But this one's got some of my favourite Alice in Chains songs on. Them Bones, which was the first Alice in Chains song I ever heard. I heard that on Beavis and Butthead back in the day, which I loved. Down in a Hole, which I say is one of my favourite songs. Rooster, another classic song. Wood, I really enjoy Wood. That's got a classic arena vibe. Lane Staley's voice, man. Lane Staley and Jerry Cantrell. Jerry Cantrell is like awesome. He's still awesome to this day when I've seen him. Unfortunately, like I say, Lane's dead from heroin overdose. So, but the new singer, he is very good. He doesn't have Lane's soul, like he had the pain in his voice, but he can sing it. He can sing the songs, man. But I do enjoy Alice in Chains still. My second best band of all time, which used to be my first. Alice in Chains. Now we're at my number one band of all time, my number one artist of all time. This is the greatest artist ever, I think, for me. Only recently made it as my number one artist. It was my number two for quite a long time, but I don't know, man. The more I listen to them, they just speak to you. This is from the 70s, Black Sabbath. And this is my favourite Black Sabbath album, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, the fifth album. Not a lot of people's favourite album, to be honest, but they're all great albums by Black Sabbath, Aussie era especially. I ain't really ventured in, I've only just started venturing into Dio's era, which I like Dio's solo stuff, but I ventured into Dio's Black Sabbath era, and I'm enjoying it. It's not Ozzy, which Ozzy was king to me in the early 70s. Sort of Black Sabbath was Ozzy for me because he just spoke to me, man. His voice speaks to me. There's some great songs on here like Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Sabracadabra, Killing Yourself to Live, Who Are You, which sounds very futuristic for the time, Who Are You. So they have the heavy metal, kings of heavy metal, the pioneers of heavy metal. If it weren't for Sabbath, there probably wouldn't be any metal, to be honest. There could be, but you know, Sabbath are one of the early pioneers of metal. And Ozzy's voice is just amazing. Black Sabbath being one of my favourite songs, Solitude, Planet Caravan. They have, all their albums are classics. It's hard to pick a best album out of them. This is it for me. But it could have been any of the other Ozzy albums, to be honest, because they're all just classics. Volume 4 is a classic. Master of Reality is a classic. Paranoid. A lot of people don't like Technical Ecstasy number 6, but I enjoy that album. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy that album. But anyway, I hope you found this interesting. My number one artist of all time, Black Sabbath. I hope you found this interesting. It'll give you a taste of what sort of music that's to come up. A little bit of a taste of what's to come. There will be many different genres. I will do some more countdowns at some point. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you've discovered some new artists that you haven't heard of and might want to check out. I hope you found the vinyls interesting, and if you like, please leave me a like and subscribe. It means a lot to me, you know. I didn't think I'd really get any watchers. I've had more than I thought, so thanks a lot. Cheers, bye.